So yeah, players cheating at Worlds. It's disappointing. Let's talk about it.
Is there more to us than the words we say, the games we play? Can we know that we're not dreaming?
I'm honestly not surprised people are hacking and using hacked Pokemon at Worlds. It was obvious why people are doing it and were doing it, but it is still disappointing that people want to cheat their way to greatness rather than doing the hard work intended for greatness. If it isn't obvious by now, thanks to a certain someone pumping out those videos, we know who I'm talking about. If you don't, bless your soul, don't go looking them up, and nobody tell them for their sanity. But back to the point, cheating at Worlds. What a scandal! People using hacked Pokemon, Gen Pokemon to try and win at Worlds? People who are even asking friends to gen a Pokemon for them during the competition? Why would they do such a thing? And at Worlds to begin with, the final step to greatness, where the best of the best compete? Well, it's quite obvious. That's why. A while back, I made a video asking if hacking does give you an advantage. It was quite popular. Given my usual numbers, it was actually quite popular. And the answers were surprising. To me, personally, I found that it does not. There is just no benefit for me, and as such, I don't even waste my time trying. I prefer good old-fashioned hard work to compete at the highest levels. However, as some people in the comments section, told me and noted, I did have a minor advantage in that I had all the resources at the start. So I had all the materials needed to train a Pokemon from the very beginning. And, I admit, that's just how I am. I like to stockpile my supplies and money for situations where I may need to train or retrain a Pokemon for competitive at the drop of a hat. Unlike some people who would have, for example, maybe have 15 Cresselia with different builds for IVs and natures, even items, and in Scarlet and Violet, even the Terras are going to be different for them. For me, I am content to just have one, just one solitary Cresselia that I am more than content to keep changing her EV build, natures, and even her Terras as needed over and over and over again. As an example, I have a Quaquaval who currently holds the record, at least personally, for most Terra changes since his first competitive battle. Currently sitting at 7. He went from Terra Water to fighting to flying to steel to fire to water and then back to flying again. Seriously, he has gone through 7 Terras. I wonder if he's alright. But they do have a point. When it comes to which is more efficient, yes, hacking is more efficient. But here's the thing. Hacking is still against the rules. It doesn't matter if it is better, more efficient, more understandable, it is still against the rules. And now, people are learning that there are risks for it, very real risks. One player lost his chance at the World Championship run because 2 of his Pokemon, Lando and Urshifu, were not only not his Pokemon, but also illegally modified Pokemon, aka hacked or genned. He was honest in that, he didn't have Legends Arceus and didn't have his copy of Sword of Shield, so he couldn't have gotten those 2 Pokemon in the games. And so he had to rely on a reputable trader. While it is not his fault, the blame still lies with him partially, as someone who does a thorough check of any and all shinies he obtains. I mean it, by the way. I really mean it. I do a very serious check every time I get any kind of Pokemon from anyone. Like, when I went and got this Vivillon from a friend, from one of my own viewers, I did a very thorough check. I checked the OT, I checked the ID number, I went down the list of various various giveaways where this Pokemon was released. I asked the person themselves, did they actually go to this event, etc., and everything checked out. I do a very thorough check of every Pokemon I receive from anyone. Unless I know them, as an honest trainer, I always do a check. But to me, there is no legitimate legal or illegal terms, etc., as people like to use. It's either authentic or hacked. He has known for months this event was coming. He should have had plenty of time to go back to his Sword and Shield, assuming he had both games, and get Lando and Urshifu. But I don't know the full details, so I won't say anything more than that. Perhaps I'm unaware of certain facts, and maybe he lost his copy of the game for whatever reason, locking him out of that option. As for not having Legends Arceus, it's also understandable. Arceus isn't a competitive Pokemon game, so why would a pro Pokemon player get it if he's focusing on competitive VGC competitions? My point still stands, however. Yes, hacking has and always will be more efficient for preparing competitive teams. Being able to create a team in minutes instead of spending days just to get a single Pokemon ready, when it might not be that good weeks later because of the shifting meta, is a huge problem. But training through hard work, time, labor, and yes, grinding is and always will be the best way, as there are consequences for our actions. The people who try to cheat their way, whether by hacking themselves or having another hack these Pokemon for them, using all of that extra time to practice, are now suffering the consequences of their action. And, just a minor rant, but this is Worlds. We expect people competing here for the title of Champion Trainer of the World to be those we look up to set examples for us down below. What kind of an example does that set when those people use hacked Pokemon to compete, and now that are being found out and given the boot after all their battles, being kicked out of the competition at the final stretch, are complaining because they have hacked Pokemon or genned Pokemon? Seriously, what kind of an example does that set? It doesn't set a good example for me in my taste. We accept the risk that we are willing to take. Sure, I'm never going to go to Worlds. I lack the skill and the funds to do that endeavor. But I do things no differently than I am now if I were going to Worlds. I will always proudly grind and do boring terror raids for shards I'll probably never use. I will always swim around the lake in all of its glorious 5 frames per second, dodging Veloozas left, right, and center for feathers that are just probably going to collect dust for days on end. And finally, run around a field looking for berries I might never need, simply to have them for EV training or retraining purposes. Because when the time comes when I need to adjust a team member for whatever reason, be it retraining them or even just fully training them, I know I have the tools and the resources to do so quite literally at the drop of a hat. And I know for a fact that all of my Pokemon, without a shadow of a doubt, are 100% authentic. Because I either hunted or searched for them myself, or I trust the person trading them irrefutably. But what are your thoughts? Comment down below, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, help the channel grow. But more importantly, don't go hating on these people. When you're trying to become the world champion, even the tiniest advantage can make all the difference. It's just sad that it seems that the only way to actually get that advantage is to hack and gen Pokemon, apparently. But I'll see you all next time. Take care of yourselves, everybody. I had to really make this video fast. I've actually got to go to work in a few hours of me recording this. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye! When you've reached
trust in me, then I'll trust in you. There's nothing more that I need to do. You put your hands in front of mine, we'll be shining through.